Okay, here we go. Minnesota. I'm going to do this McLaughlin style. Item: a series of public opinion polls show strong disapproval, particularly amongst independents and, of course, Democrats, of both the shooting of the woman in Minnesota and of ICE operations in general. Item: video after video show ICE agents on the ground in Minnesota strong arming people, including American citizens, in some cases, apparently threatening them or breaking their bones. Item: even Joe Rogan is now comparing ICE practices to the Gestapo. Larry, is the administration, despite its continued aggressive promotion of its operations in Minnesota and elsewhere with ICE, making a mistake, misreading public opinion in a way that could damage the party politically in the midterms and beyond?
I think they need to be cognizant of the fact that mob tactics work and that there's a willing media who, as you just said, Mark, is more interested in this story than they are in the
Yeah.
once in a century story in Iran. They need to be aware of that, and they need to deftly handle the situation. But if they back off on enforcing the immigration laws that have been voted on and passed by Congresses over the past several decades, then that's going to be a huge. That'll be a bigger problem for them
Yeah.
in the midterms.
But Larry, before Kevin weighs in on just how damaging this is, because the polls seem pretty clear, wouldn't it be better if these people were better trained, if they showed a little bit more restraint regarding use of force? Wouldn't that be
Well,
better?
I don't know. What is the appropriate amount of force when you've got activists who have been trained to get in your face, get
Well,
in
but
your
it's not
way,
just
and
it's
endanger
not,
your
but
operations?
it's not just activists. There's this incredible video of people at gas stations just minding their own business, surrounded by multiple agents. Some cases they're people in the country illegally. Some cases they're not, and it seems extremely unnecessary the level of force they're using.
Yeah, I haven't seen the videos you're referring to, so
All right.
I really can't
Okay.
comment
I'm
on
going
that.
to show you. I'm going to send you one. It was quite striking. I saw it on MS Now.
Yeah,
Kevin.
I will say this though. Generally speaking, when I see a video on social media that tells me
Yeah.
that it's something and everyone goes nuts about it,
Yeah.
within a day or two, I find out it's actually somewhat different.
Yeah, that caution is advised. Kevin, the public opinion polls seem to be encouraging people in your party to be pretty aggressive in criticizing this and not too concerned about a backlash, being on the wrong side of immigration, as the party has been for many years. Where do you think it stands?
Yeah, I mean, I just saw this new Economist YouGov poll. 46% of Americans want to see ICE abolished. I mean, that's the highest number we've seen, including 15% of Trump voters from 2024. That is, I believe strongly in the importance of ICE. That's problematic for the rule of law in this country. They do an important role, and I think this hurts, their ability to carry out the important work, which is getting criminal elements off the street. That does serious damage to a vital government agency, and it's hugely problematic. The vitriol on both sides, not to both sides. This woman wasn't a domestic terrorist. Yes, she should have listened to police instructions. And I think it's still true what you said in the aftermath of this, Mark, where everyone needs to take a breath and then take 4 breaths, and we need to continue to do that. And cooler heads need to prevail, not scaling up, these folks, and also too working with local government. Right, it should be incumbent on Democrats, especially these big city Democrats. Why this is happening is because you don't have the local law enforcement coordination. That's problematic. These folks are out there in these communities. They don't know these communities. They're not familiar with the suburbs and cities in Minneapolis and the surrounding areas. And they're seemingly going door to door. You bring up the gas station incident and stuff like that. That's a huge problem. There needs to be greater coordination. Everyone needs to take a damn breath.
Yeah,
Just
Larry.
a quick note on that Economist YouGov poll, which I saw too and was struck by until I looked at the crosstabs on it. 41% Harris voters, 33% Trump voters. That's hardly a reflection of the American electorate.
Yeah, but the numbers are consistent with the 3 other public polls I've seen in terms of independence attitude.
And it's not. That's not a good thing.
But Larry, just
that 47% support abolishing ICE. I don't think that's consistent.
I'm sorry, not on that. Not on that question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's on abolishing ICE.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think people really even know what that means, so I wouldn't even ask the question, honestly.
And you saw, the mayor of Minneapolis on a different network this morning saying that he doesn't stand for abolishing ICE.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. He's going to get a lot of grief from the left, I'm sure, especially in that city right now with what's going on. But, these cooler heads have to prevail, and these moderating forces within my party need to speak up.
It's
as I
funny
am.
because he said get the F out of Minneapolis ICE last week.
Yeah.
Keith Ellison yesterday also said he doesn't support abolishing ICE. So I think they're looking at some polls of their own that shows them, it's just like, defunding the police 6 years ago. It doesn't work for them.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.